If you're new to plants, or you're not sure what the easy plants are to start with, or you're kind of scared of killing plants, this video is for you. I'm going to give you my top 5 starter houseplants for beginners. Hey planting peeps, welcome to Niche's Plants. My name is Kanisha, also known as Niche, and on this channel we talk, live and love plants. So if that's your thing, subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out. So we're going to just get straight into my suggested top 5 starter houseplants for beginners, and I say that because they're easy to care for. Literally, there's not much care required, or you can just care as much as or as little as you please. So we'll get started in no particular order with plant number 1. Plant number 1 is the golden pothos. So this is mine. Yeah, so basically this golden pothos is great because initially when I got it, it did have variegation, hence why it's called the golden pothos, because the variegation was like a golden yellow. I don't know if I've got any leaves with, oh wait, you got a little variegation there. I think the older leaves have gone. Now I'm pointing that out to you because if you can put it in a place where it gets a good amount of light, direct light, then you'll get golden variegation throughout. Because I've not given it that, it's therefore kind of just left the variegation and just stuck to the green leaves, which is fine. I did initially have it in my bathroom, which was bright indirect light, and it had a few golden leaves like the initial that it came with, but all the new leaves came through green, as you can see. And then I've moved it to my hallway, which it gets kind of medium light, so it's not in the best optimal place or position, but you can see it's growing. It's doing really well. So you can get this plant because literally I water it maybe once every 2 weeks. Literally once every 2 weeks. If like the peak of summer, maybe once a week. But I literally let the soil dry out like until the pot's really light, and then I water it and I just flush it through. If you put it in a window with direct sun, it will love that and you'll get your golden variegation throughout. I'll show you some pictures so you actually know what the golden pothos looks like with the variegation, because I know mine doesn't really have it, but it grows really well. It's a hardy plant and it's easy to propagate. Like I've cut a few nodes off, thrown them in water within 2 weeks, well, a week. I've got some roots, 2 weeks, decent roots, and I'll show you some of those pictures as well. That's plant number 1. Plant number 2 is a Sansevieria. This is mine. Now this Sansevieria is great because again it's in medium light. It's opposite the pothos in my hallway. I'll throw in some pictures so you can see. Gets an okay amount of light. It grows fairly quickly. Like literally when I bought it, it just had these 2, so that's kind of 1, that's 2, and then it's given me that. And we've got some new shoots in there, which I'll do some pictures so you can actually see. But this one, again, I let it dry out so the pot is light and then I flush it through. They do quite like a tight fitting pot, so you don't have to worry about repotting them frequently. They're quite dramatic with their colors and they can grow to be quite large. Now you could even put them in a low light room, a room that's kind of semi dark, not dark because obviously plants need light, but that is quite dim, and it will survive, it will live, it will do its thing. It won't thrive if it's in direct sunlight. Yeah, it will thrive. Medium light, it does well. So this is another good one, and you can get several varieties, which I will link around me, and then you can see that you can have quite a bit of fun with them with the different colors that you can get. So that's Sansevieria, also known as the mother-in-law's tongue or snake plant. So plant number 3 I love, and it's a palm, and it's the Dracaena. Some people call it Dracaena, however you like to say it, but here it is. This is it. Now I'm going to move this for now so you can actually see it, but I love this plant also because it doesn't demand a lot. Now you might be able to see that some of the tips are red and the outline is red, which is great. When it gets a bit sun stressed, the tips go red, the underside of the leaves, some of them are burgundy, you've got the deep green. It's just like a nice little crazy hairstyle just doing its thing, and it grows fairly quickly. Now with this plant, one thing is I realized with my palms, if I place them near a radiator, they go crazy. Like they actually like the heat. Obviously their palms, they're used to the high temperatures. Now I don't put it like on the radiator, but it's probably about that far from the radiator, and I'm getting new shoots all the time. I can't say I do that with any of my other plants because they would go the other way, but these guys seem to like it. Now obviously each to their own. I'm not suggesting you do that personally, but what I am saying is you can play this in any room, bathroom, bedroom, lounge, living room. It will do fine, and it's not a slow grower. It grows fairly quickly in comparison to what this was like a year ago. If I can show you, so if you look there, basically that up, and from here up is all new growth. You might be able to see that the light green is basically the new growth. So it's growing well. I really like this plant. And again, in regards to watering, I probably water it once a month, in the summer every 10 to 14 days. If it's really hot, once a week, but I literally let the soil dry out and then I will flush it through, which basically means soak it so that all the soil is wet until I get some water running out the bottom, let it drain off, and then leave it, and it's happy and good to go. So that's plant number 3. Plant number 4. Plant number 4 is a cutie. Now let me just rearrange this. Plant number 4 is a Syngonium. Now this plant is lovely. This, I believe, is a Syngonium pixie. Now you can get several types of Syngoniums with various variegations and speckling and colors, which again I'll put up so you can see. And obviously the more varied it is, the more speckles, the more variegation, the higher the price. But you can get your standard green forms and they're relatively cheap. You can get them in garden centers or in your like houseplant store, on online plant shops, or on Instagram or Facebook, and they're fairly easy to pick up. Now what I do like, again with this plant, you can place it anywhere. Why can I not speak today? Initially when I got this plant, it was in my kitchen in the window, south facing, and it got direct sun and it loved it, flourished. It's now in my bathroom with indirect light and it's still doing well. This is the newest leaf. As you can see, there's another leaf coming out there. It just grows and grows and grows. I'm actually thinking I'll put it on a moss pole so it can kind of, you might see some aerial roots there. Hopefully you can see those. And they will then attach and climb and the leaves will just get bigger. But it's really easy to care for. Literally I'll water it once a week, once every 10 days. Once the soil's dry, again, flush it through and let it do its thing. It's literally a weed, but a nice weed, a very pretty weed. I really can't speak, maybe I'm tired, but as you can see, it's beautiful. And this was the first leaf, second leaf, and then they've just developed from there really. But this is really nice. So yeah, Syngoniums, you can place them anywhere and they will just flourish, and you can leave it to kind of bush out or to vine, or you can leave them as they grow long enough that they will trail as well. So definitely one to have, very nice. So the 5th plant is a Philodendron micans. Now I'm not bringing it here because it was in my greenhouse and then I moved to the bathroom. It's currently somewhat climbing the wall in my bathroom, so I don't want to disturb it. But I initially got this plant as 2 cuttings. I got it at a plant swap, and literally each cutting just had 1 leaf and a node on it. I threw it in some water, it got some roots. I probably left it in water for about a month because I really wanted the roots to develop, because I was like, I don't want to lose this plant, I love this plant. Potted it in soil and then left it and it just grew. It was literally on my windowsill behind me and I let it trail. Then I thought, actually, let me plant a little moss pole which I created, and it started to climb that and the leaves started to get bigger. Then I thought, actually, let me put on a bigger moss pole. Did that, put it in the greenhouse. Now the higher the humidity with the Philodendron micans, the faster they grow. But even if you have like standard humidity, whether it's 40, 50, 60, they will still grow at a consistent rate. Even put it in your bathroom, the humidity in there is fine. Mine currently is getting bright indirect light. I don't put them in direct sun because I notice sometimes when you put them in direct, they start to get a bit burnt, and obviously you don't want that. But otherwise, literally when it dries out, water it, leave it, let it trail. So it can have a trail, or it can hang, or it can climb. It's totally up to you, and they're so easy to propagate. Like this, the Philodendron, golden pothos, and even the Syngonium, if you just cut it like where this is, if you cut that at a node, throw it in water, new plant. Same way with the micans, cut it at a node, throw it in water, new plant. So they are really great and they grow quickly, so you can you get that reward fairly soon when you start caring for them, where some plants take forever. these don't. Oh, if you're enjoying this video and you're finding it helpful, please subscribe. Thanks. But yeah, if you like any of these plants, have any of these plants, let me know below how it's going for you. If you'd like me to link some information in regards to website, online stores, where you can pick up some of these plants, let me know in the comments and I'll happily do that for you so you can pick up your first set of plants. Make sure you check out my top 5 favorite indoor plants. I'll link that at the end. And for now, dare to dream, live to grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.